Cost Cutters is your family's full-service salon specializing in cuts, colors, and curls. Visit any one of our professional stylists today and get the look you want for less. Welcome to Making the Grade. I'm Dave Dickey, and normally Rich Dahman is in this chair, but as you see, he's to the side of me here. As we have this first program of the year, we're going to talk with Rich about some of the accomplishments of the past year and some of the things that will be coming up. Rich, nice to have you with us.
Thank you, Dave. It's great to be back for another year of Making the Grade.
Yeah. And let's start off, I guess, by taking a look back at Winona Area Public Schools in the 2017-2018 school year. There was a lot of accomplishments.
There were. It was an outstanding year. I think one of the major accomplishments was the development of our strategic plan. We're really excited about implementing that plan in the coming year and beyond that. We got a lot of feedback from community members and staff members in the development of our strategic plan, and we utilized what's called a classroom to the boardroom process, where the strategic plan and our mission statement, our core values, really stemmed from what our parents and staff and students felt were the most important things to see happening in our classrooms and our hallways and our playgrounds. And we couldn't be more pleased with the input that we got from people across the community and with how the strategic plan turned out. We'll be rolling that out with staff members next week when everyone is back, and utilizing that as the guide for decisions that we make in the district. And our mission statement is expect excellence grounded in compassion to meet the needs of all learners. So that's something that we're very excited about, the work that went into that this past spring, and that we'll be able to utilize that across Winona Area Public Schools. Another major achievement for us in the past year, and something that we're proud of, is our community outreach. We've had over 25 sessions, open sessions for community members to share their viewpoints on things like the strategic plan, our facilities process, our budget reduction process. We had great feedback from across the community, and we're also very pleased that we had over 2,200 respondees to our survey from last winter, and our school board and administration have incorporated the feedback from the community into our planning for the upcoming year.
So it was very busy and very productive.
It was, and looking forward to the start of the upcoming year, I think a major goal for us is going to be to implement that strategic plan. That starts, as I mentioned, next week when we roll that out with staff, but our leadership teams in all of our schools and departments have already started with that. It really is a continuous improvement process where we look at the things that we're doing right now and identify ways that we can continue to get better at what we do. So each of our schools had a leadership team, and our departments had leadership teams that came in and really dug into what are the things that we do, what do we need to do better, and set some very specific initiatives on how to continue to improve.
So once you've got the roadmap, what kind of plans are there to implement that and to get going forward on it?
Yeah, a big piece of our strategic plan is making sure that we meet the needs of all learners. That word "all" is something that we've talked a lot about, and it really is keyed around not just students that come to school prepared or that already have some skills in place, but making sure that we meet the needs of every single student. Sometimes that means that we have to provide extra support for students and extra time for them to be successful academically. Sometimes it means that we have to provide extra challenge for them. If they already have mastered their grade level materials and need more, we have to be responsible to challenge those high-end learners too. So it really is around having high expectations for every student and making sure that we put systems in place so that each student can be successful.
Now, coming up in November, there will be another referendum for residents of the city and the district to be voting on. Tell us a little bit about that. I know we had a referendum last election, and I don't know if people were expecting there'd be another one so soon, but the last one, just remind people, did not pass. And there's been a lot of changes made within the district as far as budgeting and so forth? And I'll just kind of let you get into it, I guess.
That sounds great, Dave. Thank you. Yes, the referendum from November of 2017 didn't pass. We did learn a lot from that, both from talking to people prior to the referendum, from our community survey. We asked specifically what people supported and didn't support from that referendum if they weren't in favor of it. And I think that we made some changes that really incorporate what our communities across our school district are asking for. One of the questions in the survey was what people felt we should do next with our facilities, and an overwhelming majority said that we should collaborate with our communities, talk to them about what our needs are, and then bring something back to the voters. We did that both through the survey process and through a facilities task force that really broke our facilities needs down into two areas, into what are our immediate needs and what are we going to need to do long term to set us up for the future. And what's coming to the voters in November of 2018 is the plan to address those immediate and most pressing needs across our district. And they're really focused in three areas, in safety and security, accessibility, and asset preservation. We're looking at, if the referendum is to pass in November, putting in secure vestibules in the buildings that don't have those yet, which would be we'd have those then in place in all of our schools, making our schools and playgrounds more accessible for students. And then also in asset preservation, we have some things that have dire needs across the district. Things like electrical systems that in some cases are original from when our buildings were built. We have some water piping concerns that need to be addressed in some of our buildings. And unfortunately, the funding mechanism from the state of Minnesota hasn't provided funding to school districts to be able to keep those types of things up. And so we and other districts across the state need to go to our taxpayers and ask them to support that. In the plan that's coming to the voters in November, it's about $9.4 million, and that would be paid off over the course of 4 years. So it is a short term, which limits the amount of interest payments, and the tax impact, the estimated tax impact of that would be about $20 a year for a $100,000 home. And it's prorated if the value of the home is different than that, but about a little bit under $2 a month for a $100,000 home. The second piece of that then is to address our long-term needs, and part of the reason that our facilities task force felt that keeping that initial request to a short term, a 4-year term, was to allow us some time over the next 2 to 4 years to engage with the community and find out what people want long term for our facilities, for Winona Area Public Schools. And we need to come up with a plan not only that makes the most sense for us moving forward, best meets our educational needs of our students, but also something that our school board and our communities will support. It doesn't do us any good to bring a plan back to the voters if they aren't going to support it. So it's going to be vital that over the upcoming years we communicate with our taxpayers, with our parents, our staff, on what people will support for long-term facilities needs for our school district.
We got a couple minutes left. I don't know if you want to talk about where things are standing right now. I know with buildings and so forth, there's been some shuffling of the boundaries. So some kids will be going to different schools this year. Can you give us an update on how that process is going and how it went, I guess?
Yeah, I can tell you, it's been a busy summer with getting ready for this school year. As you know, we will have 3 elementary schools open for this coming year: Goodview, Jefferson, and Washington Kosciuszko. So we've had to move some equipment around from different buildings. We moved some staff. Some of our teaching staff will be in new locations this year. And obviously we have some students and families that will be attending different schools. Some of them will be returning to their neighborhood school because we're rolling out our STEM initiative district-wide rather than just offering it to students who are at Jefferson School. So that allows some families to be back in their school, in their regular attendance area. But with the change from 5 elementary schools to 3, we also redrew our attendance areas. So there will be some changes in that way too. So our staff has worked really hard both in making sure that we have a welcoming atmosphere for families as we start the school year. Our elementary schools have open houses coming up on Thursday of this coming week, and that'll get the ball rolling. And we're excited about the start of the school year and looking forward to getting students back in classrooms, getting teachers in front of those students.
Yeah, it's going to be a very exciting school year. We're looking forward to how the district is going to look here after the November referendum comes through.
Yeah, yep, it is exciting. This time of year is always kind of a highlight because students are excited to find out who their new teachers are. Staff members are excited. We have some new staff members across the district, both in administrative roles and in teaching roles, who I think are going to do an outstanding job. And we always want to come back to the portion of our mission statement, but expect excellence, grounded in compassion to meet the needs of all learners. And we have to make sure that we're examining everything that we do as a school district and ensure that we're doing everything that we can to help every student be successful and to partner with families to help do that.
All right. Rich, thank you so much. It's good to see you again this year. Nice chatting with you.
Thank you.
And we're going to take a little break, and when we come back, Rich will be in this chair, and you won't have to see me anymore, and we'll have a couple more guests, and that's coming up next on Making the Grade.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Perfect. Getting the right look at the right price
Perfect.
is always in style. At Cost Cutters.
Located in the professional building in the Winona Mall, 507-454-6030.
My name is Joe Glendy, and I'm the HBC Air Network Engineer. AirMax is a microcell technology that eliminates the problem of needing to build fiber lines to every town by having a short, fixed wireless connection to the home. HBC develops and continues to expand this type of service to reach the communities that are beyond our fiber network. AirMax technology allows us to bridge the digital divide.
HBC is leadership in your community. Call today to get started with HBC's family of services.
I do all my shoe shopping at Rogan's because I know I'll find what I'm looking for and save. You can count on great service, a huge selection, the best name brands, the second pair is half price, and one more thing, a choice in how to save. I can get my second pair half price now, or just save my receipt and come back anytime and get my next pair at half price. Rogan's makes savings easy.
Selection, service, name brands, and the second pair is half price. Visit online at roganshoes.com.
Wondering where you can go to find great old movies? Well, look no further than HBC TV 25. Each week, TV 25 presents the HBC movie, and we won't monkey around. We'll show you movies like Night of the Living Dead, Giant Gila Monster, The Fat Spy, His Girl Friday, and others. Join us mornings at 12:30 a.m., and for those of you with better sleeping habits, Saturday afternoon at 2 on HBC TV 25 for the HBC movie.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Perfect. Getting the right look at the right price
Perfect.
is always in style. At Cost Cutters.
Located in the professional building in the Winona Mall, 507-454-6030.
Stream live episodes of your favorite shows on the HGTV app. Download the app and watch the latest shows for free.
Raise your hand if you want to break some stuff. Whack it.
Because you're in control.
We're trying to help families get top dollar for their current place and get them into a home that works for the family.
Your shows, when and where you want them.
Are y'all ready to see your fixer-upper? Oh.
It's a big deal.
You excited as I am?
Done. Stream now on your favorite devices.
Hi, this is Rich Dahman, Superintendent with Winona Area Public Schools, and we're happy to be back with another session of Making the Grade. With us today are two guests, two new directors with Winona Area Public Schools, Dr. Morella Cunningham, who's our new Director of Learning and Teaching, and Dr. Sarah Knutson, who's our new Director of Special Education. So welcome to both of you. Thanks for joining us today. Let's start, and I'll just throw a question out and you can take turns answering it. Start by sharing a little bit about your background and work experience before coming to Winona Area Public Schools.
Go ahead. Okay. Prior to coming to Winona Area Public Schools, I was a secondary teacher teaching world languages and social studies for over 10 years. I also taught in higher education in teacher education programs in public and private universities. I have some experience as well in teaching at a Minnesota State Correctional Facility.
Great, thank you.
And I am from Iowa, and I spent the last 20 years working for the Area Education Agency system in Iowa. I was a special education teacher, consultant, I was a special school principal, and then a director of special education there.
Wonderful. Well, again, welcome to Winona Area Public Schools. It's great to be working with both of you. Maybe you can each share a little bit about the role of your position here with Winona Area Public Schools. Sarah, do you want to start on that?
And the role of Director of Special Ed programs, not direct oversight, but more so in supporting the principals and just the organizational structure of the programs.
That's great, thanks. And as Director of Learning and Teaching?
As Director of Learning and Teaching, I'm supporting the development and implementation and evaluation of strong instructional programs.
All right, wonderful. And again, thank you for that information. As you're getting started, you both have been here for a very short amount of time, but what do you see as the biggest challenges and the most important work moving forward, both in your department, in your area, and overall as a district, the different things that we're going to be doing this year?
I think meeting the challenges, or identifying and meeting the needs of all students in the district, being able to support staff, teachers, administrators as we meet the needs of all students, and focusing on high achievement, academic achievement, as well as social and emotional well-being.
And I think as I've thought about that, I think the greatest challenge is really capitalizing on all the great things that are going on in the district and building on strengths, and yet finding the areas in which we need to really push ourselves further. And you know, we both feel strongly about inclusive environments and high achievement for all students. So I think that I think it's a challenge too to get to know the community and know the dynamics and the good things going on here, and building a strong cohesive team amongst our leadership.
Great, and I know that both of you have been working very hard on learning about the district, what are the different programs and initiatives, and the people that we have and that we work with, both within our district and our partners around our different communities. And not only getting to know people, but digging into what people feel we do very well, and what are some things that we need to look at as we continue to look for ways to improve. So as I said, both of you I've seen working very hard to do that and to hit the ground running. So that's wonderful. Talk a little bit about goals for this coming school year. What are some things that you want to help us accomplish?
Go ahead. Well, I think one of our goals is to implement. We have a new strategic plan for the district, and implementation of the strategic plan as a way of improving instruction, increasing academic achievement, and meeting students' social and emotional needs. Part of the strategic plan also includes clear and effective communication and systems for evaluation and accountability for the work that we're doing with our students, making sure that we're meeting the standards that the state has in place for our students.
And I see that as being a very important piece, not only having high expectations for all students, but what are we going to do to make sure that that's possible? And how are we going to measure if we're meeting those expectations, and what's our accountability system? So I think those are all very important pieces, so thanks for sharing those.
I think personally, my goal is really to just listen and learn, and kind of get myself grounded and, like I said before, understand what's going on. But as far as special education, I think the hardest task in that is really continuing to work toward an inclusive environment and ensuring that all kids have students with disabilities have access to and benefit from education, and that special education and general education teachers are really working together to bring out the best and have high achievement levels for all kids.
Yeah, and that's a great point too, because if we're going to be successful with every student, it's going to take everyone working together. It's not only the teacher's responsibility, it's not only a specialist's responsibility, it really is all of the adults and in the district and outside of the school district. Our partnerships with parents are vitally important, and we have to make sure that we are utilizing all of our resources to address those needs. So I think those are wonderful points, so thanks for bringing those about. Anything else that you want to share? I'll maybe put you on the spot a little bit. I know, Mirella, you have some background in Winona and some family in Winona. Do you want to share a little bit about your history with Winona?
Sure. I was born and raised in New York City, but spent every summer in Winona. My mom was born and raised here, and we have a lot of family, and I look at it as a home away from home. I always wanted to, as a kid, to live in Winona, and now I'm here. And it's been great to be back and reconnecting with family and friends that I've had. So it's been really nice.
Wonderful. And Sarah, I know that you like to spend time with your horses.
I do.
I don't know if you want to talk about that publicly, but is there anything that you'd like to share?
No, just that I'm glad to be here. I'm new to the Winona area, and it's just great. It's a beautiful community and great things going on in the community and in the school, and it's just an exciting time, I think, to be here and be involved in this school system.
Yeah, we really do have some wonderful partnerships here in Winona, in our outlying communities that all make up part of Winona Area Public Schools. So those I can't stress enough how important those partnerships are, and I appreciate hearing from both of you how you've dug into implementing the strategic plan and that idea of meeting the needs of all learners, because that's the most important thing that we do. So I want to thank you both for joining us today with Making the Grade, and look forward to continuing to work with you throughout the coming school year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Perfect. Getting the right look at the right price. Perfect. Is always in style. At Cost Cutters.
Located in the professional building in the Winona Mall, 507-454-6030.
Before we had HBC services, let's just say our Wi-Fi was...
touchy.
You have to see this video! Wait.
But now with HBC services
and the addition of the mesh unit,
our Wi-Fi is fast.
And it's everywhere we want it to be.
Experience whole home coverage with gigabit internet speeds in every corner of your home and beyond. Call HBC to get signed up today.
NASCAR racing is still red hot, and the excitement is bigger this year with fresh new faces like Chase Elliott, Ryan Blaney, Eric Jones, and Alex Bowman. Raceline brings you the inside story on these drivers and the veterans too, and it's as close as your TV, right here every week. Hear from your favorite drivers and how they plan to accomplish a lifetime dream, winning a NASCAR championship. It's on Raceline every week right here.
Sledhead 24/7. If it happens on the snow, find it here first. Snowmobile destinations, sled evaluations, lifestyles, aftermarket and product reviews, highlighting all aspects of racing, and get the inside coverage on the AMSOIL Championship Snowcross. Sledhead 24/7, where we are everything snowmobile.
I do all my shoe shopping at Rogan's because I know I'll find what I'm looking for and save. You can count on great service, a huge selection, the best name brands, the second pair is half price, and one more thing, a choice in how to save. I can get my second pair half price now, or just save my receipt and come back anytime and get my next pair at half price. Rogan's makes savings easy.
Selection, service, name brands, and the second pair is half price. Visit online at roganshoes.com.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Perfect. Getting the right look at the right price. Perfect. Is always in style. At Cost Cutters.
Located in the professional building in the Winona Mall, 507-454-6030.
This is Superintendent Rich Dahman with Winona Area Public Schools, and happy to be back with Making the Grade. We have still with us Dr. Morella Cunningham, Director of Learning and Teaching with Winona Area Public Schools, and Dr. Sarah Knutson, Director of Special Education. And I wanted to ask each of you, as you've been here for a few weeks and getting started in your new positions with Winona Area Public Schools, what are some things you've seen and learned about our school district and our area during your time? Sarah, do you want to start?
I will. It's just been a great beginning. I just felt welcome the first day we walked in the door, and we've worked hard to build a good relationship, and I've been just highly impressed with the community members that have reached out to try to welcome us and help us understand the dynamics of the district, and again, all the great things that are going on. We've had community partners that have been very willing and anxious to spend some time coming in and meeting with us and getting us up to speed on programs and partnerships and ways in which we can support each other, in the school and in the community. And that's just been very, very refreshing, and lets me understand the passion that people have around many service areas and different programs and activities that we have in the school. So that's been just an enjoyable first couple months.
And we really do have some great partnerships with all of the communities that make up our school district, the different cities, the organizations in those communities. We have a very strong higher education presence here in our region, and some wonderful partnerships, and we want to continue to utilize those, and it's great to hear you recognizing those folks. Morella, how about on your end? What are some things you've seen?
I would have to say I've been very impressed with people in the district, staff, teachers, administrators, coming together to work toward improving our services for students. And also, like as you mentioned, helping to bring me up to speed, to bring us up to speed, I think really have reached out to us and sat down at the table and talked about challenges and talked about goals. And I think it's been a really great environment to be in.
Yeah, I think oftentimes people assume that when school isn't in session, we close things up and people aren't working, but we've had a large number of staff and even teaching staff who aren't on the clock during that time. But everybody realizes how important our roles are and how much we have to do to ensure that we have a high quality education for every student. So I've been impressed by how hard staff have worked even throughout the summer and gearing up for the start of the school year. So it's great that both of you are able to recognize in your time here so far that staff presence and our community partners. So I want to thank you again, both of you, for taking part in Making the Grade and for the work that you're doing with Winona Area Public Schools. So thank you both, and we'll talk again soon.
Thank you.
Cost Cutters is your family's full-service salon specializing in cuts, colors, and curls. Visit any one of our professional stylists today and get the look you want for less.